are going live now. Can you guys see my screen still?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me get I'm gonna do this here.
Yeah. Oh Lord.
Okay.
All right.
Blah 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 blah.
Blah 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 blah.
What's going on here? So looks like we are live, y'all.
Yes.
Oh gosh. Ignore the kids.
As soon as we
in
go
the
live,
back.
the kids like, hey.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh.
I am really trying to go like share this. I'm not the master of Facebook. I'll just put it to you like that.
I'm gonna go so I can tag. Hello, everyone.
Yo. Hey.
It happens every time. Hey, Delonte.
What's up, bro?
Okay.
How is it?
Make sure
Hey,
y'all
guys.
like and share.
Yep.
Like and share. Like and share.
Alicia. For some reason.
So we are hoping to have some of our poll protectors, our poll defenders, maybe a couple of our candidates on to join us on our Zoom tonight.
Ooh.
Like and share.
My video is showing up good, you guys? My screen share?
Yes.
Looks like it is.
Okay.
Our poll protectors, our poll defenders. That was me. Maybe a couple of our candidates on to join us on our Zoom tonight.
Ooh.
Like and share.
My video is showing up good, you guys? My screen share?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So y'all are behind. Somebody got an echo going on. Why am I'm on the Zoom and it's looking like it's not, I mean the live, and it's not showing up that great. Can y'all hear me right now, or is this like lagging?
It will lag a little bit.
Oh, okay. But I'm looking at the live right now and it looks like it's just like it's not showing my live video.
Why is it not showing your live video? Why you say that?
Oh, you know what? Maybe it's just because the live's lagging. That's right. I'm tripping.
You tripping. It's all right, though. It'll mess with you though, especially like, wait a minute, it's behind. It's like, yeah, it's got to process.
Right.
So it'll be a little bit behind, but
who is
not
Doug?
enough to cause an issue.
Hi, Doug. I think Doug might be on the wrong live.
What's he talking about? Oh gosh. Look. Let's talk about Doug, okay? Because Doug be commenting a whole lot on our posts, and something we got an echo going on, y'all. And he wait, it's old. It's old, I forgot. But look, Doug be commenting a lot on our stuff. I don't even know who he is, because when you look at his pictures, because I done looked into you, Doug.
What you find?
I think he's a fake.
Probably.
I think he's a fake.
Like a fake page?
Yeah, he got to be a fake page. Like, he got this black person as his little profile picture, but his pictures look totally different. Like, he's got to be a fake page.
But you
So
know
we
what?
watch
It's fine. You
Doug.
know, if he wants to watch what we're doing, that much, then hey, come on, join us, Doug. Join the party, because we are strong either way, no matter who is the perceived winner tomorrow or the day after. We're all winners, and we're going to make sure that we are. So come on and join the party. That is perfectly fine, Doug. Just know your thing.
Doug.
If that's your real
He's
name.
a fake. He's a phony.
So, guys, we are going to bring on one of our candidates right now. Should we, Alicia? Oh, actually, I am going to drop.
Can I ask you a question? Why are we
Yes.
screen sharing?
You're on mute, Alicia. Hey, girl. Hey, twice.
So we're sharing the projections as they come in.
Oh, I see what you're doing. Okay,
Sorry.
cool.
See, that's what I was talking about. I knew something wasn't right. I'm looking at the live like, is it just behind or is like my stuff showing up? Like, okay, now it's showing up. I'm trying to show what's going on live. We're on NBC, guys. So I like Jake Tapper. We agreed on Jake Tapper. So that's where we're at right now.
Oh yeah. Listen, y'all, we went in.
For a lot
We
of
went
people.
in, y'all.
Huh?
We went in. We definitely did as much as we could. Congratulations. However it goes, we did the best that we could to stand up for our community and represent ourselves and our community and everything else. So
yeah,
I'm not even stressed. It is what it is, but I know we did what we needed to do.
Yeah. So I totally agree. Like between the canvassing and just trying to connect with the candidates just to hopefully spread some light on what their the things that they are pushing for, what they support, whatever. I learned a lot. Like this has been a whole learning process for me. And I have grown so much through this process. So I enjoyed leading up to this point. Everything we've done leading up to this point, I thoroughly enjoyed.
Yeah, I did as well. I think that I have been more active this election cycle than I ever have before. So I believe that I never felt like my life was at risk as much as I did this election cycle, you know. So that made it that played, a big part in it. But there are just so many feelings right now. Like honestly, I can go from A to Z and give you like a different emotion that I have, every passing minute. Like there's just something different that I'm thinking about, like the what ifs. And but one thing that I'm happy about is that I cannot and I have not and I will not question the effort that I put in, because I know that I did give it like 100%. Like I can't go back and say like, man, I should have did this or I should have did that. So I hope that most of us can say the same thing, that we definitely gave it 100%. There are going to be a couple of people that we're going to bring onto our Zoom tonight that will be able to say the same thing, because I did see their work ethic locally. And it was crazy. Even up until the polls closed here, they were working. And so I know that their efforts will pay off one way or another. So
we do have them in our waiting room here.
Okay.
So
you guys watching Doug?
No, I'm not paying attention to Doug at all.
Ain't nobody watching Doug.
No,
I am.
He's trying to mask himself as a black man on his profile picture. Like Doug, Look, I'm not
Be
playing with Doug.
yourself, man. Be yourself, bro.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. I mean, we
Let me
have everyone, and you know, we accept everyone. I mean, as long as you're being yourself and being honest, Doug.
right.
Some people too
Okay.
scared to be themselves, though.
Like,
That's
who
the
are
part.
you, really? Let me let these two in. We have Jorge
Okay.
Okay.
and Virginia.
Oh, awesome.
Who we got coming in?
We have Virginia Jones and Jorge
Hey,
Fernandez.
hey, what's up?
I mean, they have been putting in work, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Hi,
Hey,
can you guys hear us?
I can hear you.
We're waiting for Miss Virginia's audio to connect.
Ah, this is funny. Hey, Miss Jones, how
Hi.
you doing?
Congratulations, guys. Miss Virginia is joining us, and she has, she has family and friends. Everybody's ready to celebrate. We appreciate you giving us a few minutes. I know that your audience is watching and would love to hear from you. But we want to thank you. ChangeMakers wants to thank you for everything that you have been doing over the years in Fort Wayne and in Allen County. And we thank you so much for stepping up to the plate to fill this seat
That's
with
right.
Fort Wayne community schools, because we need it, our children need it, and we appreciate all the hard work that you and your team, oh my God, your team has been putting in. And so we want to give you the opportunity to say whatever you would like to say to your audience and tell us how you're feeling. And then Jorge has been working for so many years in Fort Wayne as well,
Yeah.
a member of the NAACP, and Jorge doesn't stop. He's like a wealth of knowledge. He knows so much. We actually tap into Jorge a lot when we need to know something, and so we want to give you the opportunity to speak as well about how you're feeling and speak to your audience. I'm not sure if Miss Virginia's audio is with us, but Jorge, would you like to go ahead and say how you're feeling?
Yeah, I'm disappointed but not surprised right now at the kind of the results coming in. It doesn't seem like much has changed as far as how people are voting from how they voted in 2018, and it's a little better than 2016 from what I'm seeing so far.
Yeah.
But it's not, we're not talking earth-shattering shift at this point. But it's hard to say with so many absentee ballots out. But they put up one, an Allen County like incomplete one, and from there again it looked very similar to to like the 2018 results, kind of better than 2016. So I'm seeing it, and it's um it's just like, how are people still voting for these for people that aren't going to help them like they should. But we still, I mean, there's still people that are voting for us, and so there's people that came out, supported us, and that for that I'm appreciative always. Contributed, donated, and saying we're still here, we're part of Indiana, and so and we're not okay with what's going on. So yeah, looking at the results, I think there was less libertarian from early things. There was less presidential libertarian than before, and so that might have got um, who it's anyone's guess where that went, but Democrats on the Electoral College have performed slightly better, and really everything below that kind of just filled in, just kind of improved a little bit from where we were seeing in 2018 and 2016. So I think with Regina's, from what I saw, she was in. It was like three-way. Like it was just too close. It's too close to call between the three: Virginia and Jennifer and Glenna. So You know, on East Allen, you know, again, and they put this and they took it down. East Allen, I think a lot of people went behind. They didn't get behind Lee because you know, Jenny, like they wanted to get Bob, you know, out with Bob Nelson, and everybody wanted to get Bob Nelson out, and they thought they had a better chance with Jenny, so they went with Jenny. You know, it's pretty crazy at the governor's level. Again, if you're looking at the Indiana results, they're starting to come in on this site. The Myers has about the same amount as the libertarian, the far right, Rainwater. And you know, it's like no one, like people were like thought that poll that Rainwater did well was an anomaly, but it's not. It's like that's like half the Republican Party there, and so there might have been a dynamic with Myers. There was people that I lived in Huntington. There was people that voted for me, voted for Chip, that did not vote for Woody. You know, there was like it was a pretty big shift, and it might have had to do with people are actually somewhat concerned about Rainwater. I think more so there's a lot of people that are on our side that are like they don't want to see very extreme lockdowns. They were like really didn't like that, and I understand, but we do need to like take care of our health. But they really didn't like that, and so Woody Myers being like supportive of possible, like even like having possible lockdown, I think even lost some people that maybe kind of that supported Democrats on other parts of the ticket. Yeah, so that's tough, but it is challenging when you have now Stephanie Henry's looking really good right now. Melissa,
okay, what are those numbers looking like?
Oh, I mean, again, they pulled it, but it's a 6-way race, so the percentages are deceiving. It's like, oh, it's like 18% or 14%. But what I'm looking at is it's a route in line with the presidential. It's about like Allen County, they came out with the first results and it was looking like 42 Dem, 57 Republican. So absentee, it's still possible. Stephanie and Melissa both get over the finish line. Just depending on how, hopefully the absentee ballot is a good enough shift when those go in Allen County that those can bring them over the line. But again, looking nationally, it'd be kind of surprising if we shifted, like it would have to be like a shift of like 8%, like going from 42% to like 51%. So it'd take a really big shift to go from the early votes to absentees. And I didn't really see that. Huntington came out with all its results, I think.
Okay, and before we get into more of that, Jorge.
Go ahead. Sorry, I apologize.
No, you're fine. We're going to go back and forth, but I wanted to get Virginia in there as well.
Hello, guys. I'm sorry. I got family here.
Yeah.
So thank you for giving us a few minutes. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I know you've been putting in so much hard work. I don't know if you heard us say thank you and congratulations. We know that we're all winners no matter what because we've been building. But you go ahead and tell us what you think. Talk to your people.
I just want to say, can you guys see me?
Yes.
Can you guys see me?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we can.
Okay. I just want to say thank you, guys. I want to say thank you to Fort Wayne. Mm-hmm. I am so forever grateful. I'm humbled. I think we ran a really, really good race. And if it wasn't for you, Fort Wayne, that helped me, I wouldn't be where I am. Win or lose, it's a win-win for me.
That's
because
right.
We ran with integrity and we ran that thing. And I feel like I have influenced a generation of children coming behind me, young people, change makers like you guys.
Right. That's right. Thank you so much. We are rooting for you.
You guys too.
We know, and thanks to your team. Your team is amazing. I hope I can get one of those red shirts because I still want one. I haven't got a chance to get one. But
okay.
We are looking forward to continuing the building that we have been doing. Everything that you've been working in the community forever, Ms. Virginia. So that's not going to stop. We're only going to, go harder, put more pressure on. And so we thank you so much for everything that you're doing.
You're welcome. I do want to share some insight on some of the things that I observed at the polls.
Okay.
I think we have to do a better job with getting out, education about the vote. There were so many people that didn't know if you voted straight ticket, you still had to go down and select county council, school board candidates. There were so many people that didn't know their district. There were so many people that had a disability and didn't know that they could call to get assistance for that. And we just have to do a better job at educating.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
But I have to put that on the to-do list. I like that.
And my goal is to mentor young people who wants to run for elected office. Because I think if you have a solid plan, you can win this. You can do this.
Yeah, I mean, Glenna Yale is. I mean, again, the results are coming in. Like
What do you think?
But I mean, looks like she's been held under 35, like between 30 and 35%, which, considering it's a majority Republican area, is to have Virginia, Jennifer both be in a three-way race. There is kind of really shows that people didn't really want Glenna Yale, so anti-public ed, and it showed Virginia ran a strong campaign, and so so did Jennifer.
Yeah.
So what what do you, Jorge, what do you watch as far as for local elections and getting the information? What is your favorite go-to site?
So the site that these results are coming from, I just go directly to the site because they and until the final results come out.
Look at that number on the screen. Let me stop. I'm sorry.
Until the final results
I am viewing results on the election board.
I think that's Allen County Election Board. Now the thing is that there's the other site that's statewide, and that's like a good site, but Allen County is usually slow to get into that site, it seems. So like a lot of the stuff, like Huntington County, part of my district, is on the statewide site. Allen County isn't, but they had at one point their results in Allen County in this place that I just put the URL for, Allen County US. And so when they get more results in, I'm sure they'll post it there. But they're not providing periodic updates like they usually do periodic updates. And what they did is they put it up and then they pulled it. So I can show you what it looked like before because I think I have.
Hey guys, can we, while you can continue, Jorge, but Alicia, can you take the screen sharing off so that we can see everyone's screen? I want them to be able to see Jorge and Miss Virginia. And then if we could take a screenshot while we have our candidates on here as well.
Okay. I'm about to get it here. Hold on.
Okay.
Ooh.
I'm down in the basement where it's quiet.
All right. Everybody say cheese.
Cheese.
Awesome. Yeah, so we have some people that have our back watching. They said, take the screen sharing off so we can see everyone's faces. We wanted to give you guys' faces. So Miss Virginia, where are you getting your updates from? Is it from the same site?
The election board, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Let me see.
So that's what we should be tapped into as well. Just know we're going to let you get back to your family, but just know that we're watching with you and we are rooting for you all the way. And tomorrow, no matter what we see as far as results tomorrow, we have work to do.
We do. We do.
I've had amazing conversations with Miss Virginia, and I love the road forward for you. And I'm going to be right there supporting and working with you. So I'm excited.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm just so proud of you young people. You guys are really making a difference. You're really trying to make a change. So I thank you guys for that. Anything that I can do, I will definitely support you all because I know you guys are the future. We have to invest in young people. I've just been amazed at you guys' courage and your willingness and your boldness to walk out there and just, embrace you and say, I'm here. This is me. This is who I am. I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks.
Enjoy the rest of your night. And
Okay,
we're right there with you.
Thank
And
you.
thank you guys for all your support.
Thank you.
You're
No
welcome.
problem.
Thank you.
Oh,
Bye-bye.
You as well.
Blessings. Jorge, you can stay on, Jorge.
yeah, I'm staying
You
on.
got some
Okay.
time. So Jorge, how are your nerves right now? You seem so calm. Can you help me out with that?
I was before you came, before I got on here, it's like, yeah, I was upset, but now, it's just, it is what it is. So
Yeah. I think that when we start to think about, like, you've been working in the community for a long time, Jorge. So I think that knowing that and knowing that we still have so much work to do and so much pressure to put on these people, I think it's encouraging. That's why we wanted to do this. Alicia and I had spoke about just talking to the people, because I think we were flipping out, honestly. Alicia, you on mute?
Yes.
Off mute. Kidway is off mute. Okay.
Look, I was tripping. I've been tripping all day, like trying to keep my composure.
And then she went back on mute.
What else? At this point, I'm just like, we have done everything we could do. This is, I mean, what else
I
do
hope
we ask
so.
ourselves?
I think so too.
Can
I
you
think
guys
so
share
too,
like
but
the work you've been doing?
We've done the digital canvassing with Faith and Act Now Indiana. We just finished the Get Out to Vote campaign. ChangeMakers have had over 2,000 conversations with voters to encourage them to get out and vote. These are talking about high potential voters that are Black and Hispanic and people of color, and also women and young people who are generally disenfranchised by the process because they're not advertised to. No one speaks to their values. Nobody speaks to their experience. And we have really stood in the gap as much as we could. And we've partnered with other people who are standing in the gap. And so we've been doing that for several weeks. And so now, regardless of how it goes, I realize that effort is what moves things forward. It might not do it in this election, but we understand we carry that power, and we have to take that forward and continue to do what we're doing. So as frustrated or anxious as I am, I'm also just like, listen, it's going to be what it's going to be. We all understand what we're up against, and we got grinding to do. So let's take tonight and recuperate no matter what happens, and then let's get back to it.
I love that. And so the road forward, Jorge, what are you thinking about? Have you gotten the opportunity to think like, when you wake up tomorrow, what is the work that you're going to continue to do through the end of the year? Have you gotten a chance to think about it, or?
That's hard to say. I think we still have some opportunities, and there's other districts, I think, that can still win, in the state house. And so I think at the state house, I think they still have a chance of breaking the supermajority there. And what that will mean is, if they break the supermajority of the state house, is that the minority party in the Indiana House will have some negotiating power. And then that will, because then they can, when the supermajority, you don't, like the minority, like the 33 Democrats could leave and the 67 Republicans could continue doing business, because that's how the supermajority, that's because how our state constitution is set up. Yeah. But if you get that to 34 Democrats, then they can't, if 34 Democrats leave, they can't have business. So they can use that. They can't like pass legislation on their own, but they can like block things and slow them down, and that can give them some power to negotiate some things. So hopefully we can get some reforms, components of what the Indiana Black Legislative Caucus is looking at, if we break that supermajority in the state house. and hopefully we can get ungerrymandered, like we can put some resistance against the gerrymandering of the maps if we do break the majority, because that is still on the table. Here in Allen County, I wouldn't, you know, it's not out of bounds for Stephanie or Melissa to still win this thing. Unfortunately, I think my race is, you know, with how Huntington County results came out, is like a no-go. I think I'll do better here now. I mean, like in Allen County, I think I'll do better than previous elections, but Huntington was about the same, Huntington County. So I don't think I'll be able to recover. It's just like, you know, there's heavy R there, and it's really disappointing. I think there might in the future, there just has to be some strong primary action there, because there were some people that were more, they wanted criminal justice. There was like a candidate that was running in the Republican primary for this district and got a whole bunch of votes in the Republican primary, and he was running on pro public education, criminal justice reform. And it's like, are you even, you know, how are you even a Republican in the party this day and age? So I think, you know, this district, it's going to change in 2022. That's the thing with all these state house districts, is they're going to change, and hopefully that's, you know, we get enough people in the state house to put a resistance so that they change in a more beneficial way, so it's not as badly gerrymandered. And so that there's an opportunity, because they're going to create these new maps based on these census results, right? So there's an opportunity for some new people to come into the state house. Maybe the South Side won't be. I mean, hopefully there's enough people on the South Side now that Phil Giaquinta won't be the only state. You know, that district won't be the only district down there. Hopefully, you know, there's enough to have maybe some, or, you know, most of another. I don't. You know, that's the thing with the census. We'll find out what, you know, what kind of population changes we've had. But there could be enough down there to have. Okay, there's a new state house district that doesn't have an incumbent in it, you know, and then there's an opportunity for somebody new to run in those races in 2022. So the whole, like for state house, the whole map changes based on, you know, the overall picture for the state. So even though I'm disappointed by mine, if we can get the overall picture statewide and get it, you know, some good people in there, then that could create a really good setup for 2022 to get people in the state house, because that is key. Like the Indiana Black Legislative Caucus pulled out. I mean, I don't know if you've seen their agenda, but they have a fantastic agenda, because there's so much we can do at this. Like there's just so many things that you can do at the local level that you can do at the state level. It's just the nature of our system. But there is a surprising amount of things you can do at the local level if we can get, you know, Stephanie, Henry, Melissa Fisher are not out of this by a long shot. If we can get them to, then we're really, I mean, I think.
I mean, that's huge, right? We've had a lot of huge decisions recently for the county council. And so that is not a small thing. If we could get Stephanie Henry and Melissa Fisher, speaking of Melissa Fisher, she's going to be joining us shortly. Yay. So if we could get them there and we could actually get some help in that room, I mean, we could change the budget. I mean, we just had two really huge decisions that were made without the community's input. We were, I mean, it's like we were, you know, not here. Like, I mean, is anyone gonna like ask us like what we think about this, or, you know, we were not a concern at all when these decisions were being made. So I would love to have a couple of more community-minded people in that room with the county council members. And so you're right, there is a lot more work we can do. But I wanted to say that we have Miss Kimberly on the line now. Miss Kimberly, can you unmute yourself? She is another really, really hard worker in the community from the Poor People's Campaign. And I know that we would love to hear like your experience at the polls, the work that you've been doing, and how you're feeling about the results so far.
Yeah, I'm trying to find more of the local results.
That's what I kind of ran through in the chat. You'll find.
Okay. Well, I wonon't get any of the chats from before I got here.
Okay.
Before I arrived, you can only see. But
this is a statewide this is statewide numbers. It has state reps, state senate, county council, everything on this one. So
Awesome. Thank you. Oh, you probably put on the chat in
that's
Messenger.
it.
Yeah, good. I'll look forward to seeing that, to see, get updates. Yeah, I was, I think I've, from a kind of intuitive standpoint 4 years ago, even though my head and all the polls were like, oh, this is going to go to Clinton, I was, for the week before, I said, I have this bad feeling. And then I said, and I have a feeling that it's going to be way worse than what anyone's possibly talking about. And that happened even up into January in the inauguration. I had a heart incident that was pretty scary. And I'm like, I'm telling you, my alarms are all going off that this Trump presidency is going to wake up something in the nation that is way worse than what we can, so everything in me was just really reeling 4 years ago. And I have not had that kind of strong feeling. I definitely have apprehension right now, but it's not this deep intuitive, like it's going to be bad, so I'm holding on to that as hope. And also, I don't know if any of you clicked into the YouTube Poor People's Campaign voters vigil today, but it was so beautiful and so empowering. With so many like amazing voices all through Indiana, and that really, like, I could tell my blood pressure was going down as I participated in that. So I'll put that link in the Messenger link, but click on it in the next couple of days just to get some moments of solidarity and inspiration and perspective, just to keep us going. So just those are a couple of my reflections. And we drove this afternoon down to Brown County to just get away. So it was weird going through Pence's hometown. That was creepy, and we're in Indiana, so it was a little creepy, but we're just kind of out here on our own, taking some chill time.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming on, and tell hubby and baby girl that ChangeMakers says hello. We love and support you guys, and thank you all for your support as well. So we're all going to be, standing in solidarity tonight together. I know that we're all having, an array of emotions, but we're hoping for the best. Hold on to that little bit of hope. I'm not watching the polls anymore because tonight my heart can't take it. Just not tonight. So I think that when we have more results in tomorrow, I can tap in. But tonight, literally every 2 minutes is changing, and I just can't.
So I want to add that we have a question from the Delante. His question is, are they just adding up the votes from voting today? But what about those who mailed in ballots? So we know that there's been, like in other states, there's been a huge turnout for early voting and mail-in ballots. So what about those mail-in ballots? Like,
so
how can they call a race?
So here's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing. The fact that they did exit polling, and so so I'm sure they based it mostly on the exit polls rather than the results. And if there's a very lopsided exit poll, they usually call that really pretty quick, because they pretty have high confidence in those exit polls. But like Allen County results, for example, what happened today is they put up 30,000, the results with like 30,000 of the votes, and it didn't have today's votes. It didn't have most of the mail-in votes. It had the early walk-in votes. And it's 30,000 votes, and then they've said that there was like 105,000 cast in Allen County, for example. So we're looking at 1/3 of the votes. Okay, so again, they're making projections. Like you wouldn't be able to call these races if it wasn't for the exit polls, or you're taking a guess that these like the things that have come out, they're, you know, consistent with, you know, the what's, you know, with a certain shift or something, you know, overall. Like, for example, for Huntington, there wasn't much of a change from 2018 as far as the results when that came out. All of Huntington County, I think, has come out. And so, you know, if you're going to guess, oh, there's not much of a change party-wise, then, you know, the governor's race goes Republican, you know, and so forth and so forth. And Allen County, that would imply if it goes like 2016, it would be, you know, Republican, just straight, you know, all for all the countywide races. So for all the county council. But again, I think that Allen County is with 105,000 voters, which is, you know, much higher than normal. I think that we're going to see better results when the other votes start coming in. It's hard for me to think that the early walk-in votes, or sorry, the mail-in votes are not going to be much better than the absentee. Now we could get hit a little bit on the election day because usually those are worse for Democrats. But usually the mail-in ballots this year, all the polling indicates the mail-in ballots are going to be much better because a lot of people are afraid with COVID did the mail-in ballots.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, a lot of the Republicans don't have a healthy fear of COVID. It's just like they're just on. I mean, just too many of them don't believe in science. I just like being a science teacher, it's super frustrating. So that's going to probably improve things. And they definitely didn't have all the early walk-in votes. I can't, like 30,000 of the 105,000 votes, they couldn't have had all the early walk-in votes because that was like the biggest chunk, I think. So that's why I think they pulled the report. It was just partial results, and it was very misleading for Allen County. But the other counties are looking about the same as 2016, from what I've seen.
So the states that we're really worried about as far as the election goes, between Trump and Biden, overall, we're looking at what? Florida, Texas, Michigan, Georgia, Wisconsin, and Ohio,
Arizona, and Ohio. Now, as far as the Electoral College goes, he's got to do well in like Florida, Pennsylvania, and Florida. And the reason for that is the state legislature. It's just how the Electoral College works. Because if they can get do well in Florida, if they can get some state legislative seats in Florida, then they don't have to worry about dealing with the legislature. Because if you have to deal with the legislature, we're going to have like it's going to be like 10 times worse than Bush v. Gore. I mean, we'll be dealing with this in the Supreme Court. Like it's, you know, it's going to make Bush v. Gore look like amateur hour. Because, you know, again, state legislatures control the Electoral College. And so that's kind of disappointing because like for Indiana, because if we could have flipped the House, if by a crazy way Indiana went blue, which they already called it, but if by some crazy way Indiana went blue statewide, then we would be able to actually keep them from messing with it. Because our state legislature, they mess with everything. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're like, well, we're going to give the Electoral College electors to people that are pledged to Trump anyways, because we don't believe like something stupid about mail-in ballots or something. Come up with stupid excuses.
Yeah, Kimberly put in the chat that an interview said that, you know, Allen County could take all day to count tomorrow.
That's what I think too.
Yeah, so don't panic.
It's one of the. It was the election board.
Yeah.
Said that you know, they don't think it'll take until Thursday morning, but they expect it'll take most of tomorrow to get through those absentees. And then you were talking about Alicia was asking about the national picture, and I think you know, it's looking actually really promising for Ohio, and I'm kind of hoping that Texas flips. So those two
that would be
would be big.
That would be great.
I was looking at polls yesterday or the day before, and I'm like, gosh, maybe Texas will do it. And then looking at some of the stuff tonight, it's
so we have a couple other We have a couple other comments in the chat that I wanted to hit on.
Yeah.
We have a comment from Reese Hibernatin. Does anybody care to talk about the fact no matter who wins, Black people lose? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't agree with that because I think that, you know, Joe Biden is okay. For one, Trump is not willing to do anything when it comes to the Black community. He's not willing to talk about it, as we've seen in the debates and whatnot. He doesn't even he changes the subject. He will not talk about the Black community and what's going on.
Well, he will not condemn white supremacists. That's important.
Exactly. So I think we have better chances with Joe Biden to get things accomplished and push to get things accomplished and have them accepted than we do with Trump.
Yeah, I want to point out Lyndon Johnson was like the most unlikely person to sign the Civil Rights Act. Well, like one of the most unlikely people, and he signed it. There was the pressure there, you know. There was the civil rights movement, MLK. They put the pressure on Lyndon Johnson to sign it, even though his track record was horrible on race issues. So, I mean, if we could, you know, I definitely think we could. We could get some consent decrees out of that administration, because I mean, Obama did consent decrees. So what's Biden's excuse going to be? You know, Trump has not done one consent decree with a police department. Not one. His Department of Justice is a joke for African American individuals. So it's just for the Black community. And so it's tragic. It's the opposite, because he's tear gassing peaceful protesters in Washington, D.C. So you don't have to deal with that with Biden. And if we can get people in the Senate and in, hopefully we'll see what happens here. If we can get people like in Georgia, like Warnock, like John Ossoff, that John Lewis endorsed, I think, before he passed away, I think that, they can put some pressure on some, to get some movement on these bills.
Yeah.
And thanks, Brad. I want to thank Reese for that comment. I think that is a question that I have been hearing for the last couple of months. And I would tell you this, Reese, and it's not personal to you, but when I tell you that today and yesterday, every time I saw that comment, because my brother, whose name is actually Reese, he has been working my nerves saying that exact thing, but this is one thing that I tell people. At least Biden will give us the opportunity to live to fight another day.
Damn.
Okay?
Yes.
I mean, at least we will live. Okay, let's just start there. So if you vote for him just for that reason, that he doesn't want to kill us off, then, I think that we should all be running to the polls like, Mama, I want to live. Do you want to live? If you want to live, raise your hand and go to the polls. That's all I'm saying. And that's it. I think that I could just end it there, because other than that, if you can't grasp that one idea, then I think everything else is a waste of breath. But hopefully that helped a little bit with your question, Reese. And I wanted to say that we have Miss Melissa Fisher, Pastor Melissa Fisher, on the line.
Hey, girl.
Hey, what's up? You guys are cutting into my sleep time.
Listen, I should be asleep so my nerves wouldn't be worked, but Alicia drugged me on here. Alicia did it.
Look, I'm sitting over here like a little kid. Like,
I'm telling you, I would have been asleep, but thank you for giving us a little bit of your time. We wanted to let you know that we appreciate everything that you have been doing over the years in the community. And then for these past 4 or 5, Melissa, I knew when you first started to run. I remember, and you literally you took off. And as you went along, I was just proud. I was just like, okay, she took the bull by the horns and just rode it. Okay. You have been killing the game. I'm proud of you. I know that you are ready to do the work beyond this election. And so we wanted to give you the opportunity to talk to your audience and and just, tell us how you're feeling. I know you're probably not feeling much because you were asleep, but how are you feeling right now?
Well, first of all, I just want to thank you guys for asking me to come on. I know you guys have been doing a lot of work. I know you guys have been doing a lot of work in the community, and I just want to say thank you for all that you guys have been doing in the community. There's so much work to be done. I mean, this is just the beginning. I mean, we're just starting here. I mean, this is like been the iceberg. So I'm feeling good. I mean, I feel like I had absolutely no clue what I was getting myself into. I've learned a lot. I hope I can help people who are coming behind me. Win, lose, or draw. We really need different types of candidates. We need diverse candidates to step up. We need people who are passionate. We need people who know about the community, know about those issues, know about what we're dealing with, and that can connect with people in the community, all over the community, but really especially we need people from all different areas in the community so people can be represented. Right now, the community itself is not represented as a whole, and everybody's voices are not being heard. And so I feel good, win or lose. I feel like I already won. Women did not have a vote 100 years ago. We couldn't even vote, let alone be on a ticket. Black women couldn't have a vote or be on a ticket, 60 years ago, 70 years ago? We're talking about places that my ancestors and people that came before me, they could not do. And so it's just an honor to be able to run and to be able to have that opportunity. So, I appreciate each and every one of you. I appreciate the work we're doing. And the bottom line is we have a lot more work to do. One thing I've learned, I've been out at the polls for, the last 2 weeks for early voting. People are not educated. People are not educated on this process. They'll go in, they'll try to hit straight ticket. They don't know, that they have to hit, a lot of people I probably missed out on, and Stephanie probably missed out on a lot of votes because people did not know that they had to push the button for Allen County Council. So even if you hit straight ticket, you still had to push the button for Allen County Council. You still had to push the button for school board. You still had to push the button for judges, or it just wasn't voted for. So we have a lot of work to do in the next 2 years before the next election. We have a lot of work to do to get candidates ready who want to run and who want to be on the ballot and who want to be in these offices. We have a lot of work to do to get people on committees, people in the Parks Board, people in areas where our voices and people's voices of color, I'm not of color, obviously, I'm white, but people who are in that have those interests, we need to have those people at those boards, and we need to start researching. We need to start knowing, and we need to start empowering our young people. We're going to have a whole nother set of young people that are able to vote in 2 years. We're going to have a whole nother set of young people that are able to vote in 4 years. And so it starts with education, and that's just how I feel. I feel great. So, I mean, I'm tired. I've been at like 40 different polling locations today. So you name it, I was on your side of town today. So I will say my favorite polling location that I was at today was McMillan, though. Like, that was like, everybody was happy, and we were having fun, and we were dancing, and we were talking. Like, it was just, so out of all the different ones, that was probably my favorite one. But
that is awesome.
So there you go.
Yeah. So we know what we need to do moving forward. Education, number one. And that's educating on so many different things. I feel like our young people are yearning for the education. They want to learn. We just have to be there with the materials, with the education beyond what they're doing at school, that homework. They have to, and a lot of this is going to be done in the homes, honestly. So we have to get to those parents, these young parents, and wherever the parents are, we have to get to them and, make sure that they're educated so that they can educate their young ones. And so I love that. And if we could get some of this stuff, into the schools, oh my goodness. I would love that. And so that's why we need Miss Virginia to be voted in as well. So,
oh, amen. She's got a lot. Together we have learned so much. So, whatever the knowledge that even myself, her, whatever we've learned. I want to be able to pass that on. So I'd love to have a forum. I'd love to have even an education, even like some trainings in the next few months of just, if you are a person that is interested in running, these are the top 5 things that you're going to need to do. These are the top 5 things that you spend money on. This is how you raise money. This is how you start. This is, reporting. It's all name recognition. That's what it is. Name recognition. I mean, I ran an at-large race. And so you're talking about almost 400,000 people that you've got to get your name out to. I went to the polls for 2 weeks. They never heard my name. They didn't know who I was. There's people that had no clue, never heard about me. So, and you think that you're doing a great job. You think we could have done that by 10 and probably still not got that out there. So I would love to. However, then we can definitely collaborate in the next week or two and just see what's next. What can we do?
Yeah. And I saw your commercial too. I was like, hey, Melissa Picture got a commercial. I saw the commercial, then I saw a picture of myself and I said, ooh girl. But no, but yeah, I am excited. Like just hearing you speak about that, I am so excited about like November 4th and everything moving forward, because it's just onward, upwards, bigger, better. And I'm really, really encouraged by that. I think that my nerves are leveling out a little bit the more that I speak to you guys. I can imagine like how you guys are feeling. I think the best thing to do probably would be sleep, honestly. But just know that we are rooting for you this election and then tomorrow, because we know that we have work to do and we're rooting for you moving forward as well. So we appreciate it.
Kid Boy, I think you were going to try to say something.
Yeah, so somebody was in the comments and they were Rose Reese again, talking about the difference between saying someone should explain the difference between the electoral college and the popular vote, the electoral vote and popular vote.
Yeah.
And I think that's a valid question. I think it is. So I want to do a really brief explanation of what that is for viewers. So in most every single office in the United States, the popular vote is what determines the election of those state officials, governors, all of that, right? But it's not that way in the presidency. So when you're voting for the president, when you cast your vote, whether it's Republican or Democrat, you're voting for like a specific slate, a select number of votes that the representatives in the electoral college from that state will then give to a candidate. And that's a really archaic way of doing it, which is what creates a lot of tension around that. And so we have to continue to vote because it's going to have to happen regardless, whether you want that electoral college to swing or whether we eventually do away with the electoral college. You still need to vote. And so it's like, upgrading from one car to a different car. You can absolutely, if you don't want to, not vote at all, if that's what your choice is. However, you still need to vote because you have to participate in that swing. It's not going to happen if you don't participate in the swing. Those who benefit from the electoral college are definitely not going to look at it from an objective standpoint in order to change things that reflect the views of the people more, if you do not vote in such a way that would continue to bring attention to that. And so that is the difference between the electoral college and the popular vote, just for those who don't know.
Thanks, Kid Boy.
Is there anything else you need or want from me? I'm about to go to sleep. I've been at it since 8 a.m. and I am tired, but I'm excited to hopefully wake up tomorrow and they say I got the bronze. I'm shooting for number 3. That's what I'm trying to shoot for. That's a seat at the table. If not, we're going to keep it pushing and keep it moving and keep it going. So,
all right. Good night, Melissa. Thank you.
Good night, guys. Thank you guys so much. Keep doing the work.
For sure.
Bye, guys. Thanks again.
Bye.
Oh, y'all, by the way, I wasn't looking at the chat, but Reese is my brother. The one I just said having my blood pressure all up. That is him asking that question. I was like, that is, It's ironic that there's a Reese in there trying to raise my blood pressure, but it happens to be my brother. Okay. So yeah, we can skip this question. I'm just
I'm gonna respond to what he said. I'm gonna respond to what he said.
Oh Lord.
So basically, the electoral college is more important than the popular vote. Thanks. Okay. Yes and no, right? If no one says anything to promote something different to happen with the popular vote, there will never be a change in that system. The squeaking wheel gets the grease. If you refuse to be a squeaking wheel, you will definitely never see any type of changes, because you have to disrupt the process enough to implement the changes that you need. You can't just decide not to participate. You can, if that's what you want to do, but understand that moving forward as a community strategically, we have to continue to implement strategies that promote the empowerment of our people, not just intercommunally, but also politically and nationally. That's where that bind comes in. And so, absolutely, if you don't want to vote, you don't want to, absolutely do what you got to do, brother. But
don't give him that pass. No.
Listen,
No.
listen. Let me say this. Let me say
You
this.
can't have my brother
If
be out
that
here
is
in the
how
street
you
not voting.
feel, if that is how you feel, then that is how you feel. The reason that doesn't make sense is because it does not empower you. It does not fix anything for your status. It's like the kid who takes their marbles and goes away, still doesn't have anyone to play with, and so it doesn't fix anything. And so if that is what you want to do, and you have other ideas on how you're going to ride on, but from a political standpoint, which the legal system in the United States, although it is not built for us, there are states who have done really great work in making sure the quality of life for those people of color in their state is much better than it is in other places. And the reason why is because you engage in the political process, which adds governance over the system that you already live in, unless you were trying to lead the country or something. And if that's what you want to do, again, right on. But wherever you go, you have to represent your values. Otherwise, other people are going to. Now, if you got some remote resort or something like that that you and your people go to, and none of this stuff matters, right on, and more power to you. But for most of us who live here and pay taxes here and have to continue to do that for the foreseeable future, it is in our best interest to get involved so that our tax dollars, the commodity of our own efforts, is represented properly and does so in such a way that empowers us to continue to grow. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kidway. Let me tell you something to Kidway. My brother, so you just did exactly what he wanted you to do.
Mhm.
Let me tell you, that is how he is. He likes to ask the question that is going to get the person most hyped, and then he sit back and be like, that's what he do. That's his personality. But let me say this, and I agree with what Kidway said. This is something that my brother and I argue about all the time. So it's very simple though. Because if Black people, let's say the Black community, if the Black community does not come out in masses and vote, our issues will never be addressed. People will always look at us as a non-voting population. We don't have to speak to their issues. We don't have to change anything or do anything for them because they're not going to vote anyway. So the thing is that your vote is like you taking $1 to the bank. Every time a person of color or a youth or a woman, every time we go and take our money to the bank, then we have this large amount of money that people can say, oh wow, they just raised this amount of money. Literally, and this is what I tell my students, your vote is like your money. Go put your money in the bank. That's it. We ain't gonna be cashing no checks if we're not voting, period. And then we can't think about ourselves either. This is not a selfish thing. Okay, we are voting so that the people behind us, so that our kids, so that the grandkids, the younger people will have something to live for, something to come back to. I tell you this, if our ancestors didn't vote, we will not have what we have today, period. And I won't even go into like being a Black veteran. I won't even go into that because Black veterans back in the day, did not have some of the things that they have today. Somebody had to vote and fight for that. So anyway, I'm giving him what he wants now. But let me tell you, I'll tell you this, don't let him take you down a rabbit hole. Okay.
Yeah. Now this is the reason. So I completely understand what's happening. Okay. I'm taking this opportunity to say this, not because Reese himself needs to hear this, but because there are other people who are not as aware of the process, maybe don't have the opportunity to devote the time and the resources to figuring things out the way that we have, to investigating things as far as we have. And so it's a disservice to us and our entire community to have folks walking around who don't really understand what's going on. And so we have to continue to instruct in every way possible. Reese, right on. I understand, you're getting stirring the pot. We all do it. Absolutely. Okay. Well, for those of you who are unsure and who fall in the category, because I'm hearing this a lot, especially from Black men. We want to stir the pot. It makes this interesting. That's not interesting to me. I think that's irresponsible of the privilege that we carry within our community.
Agreed.
So I understand that it's a talking point, but I don't think it's a very valid one, because there's a lot of us who don't have the commodity of joking around. And so we have to understand how to really make this stuff stick for us. We have to be leaders in time. So it really doesn't make any real sense to say, and I'm not trying to attack you, bro. I'm just being honest. He said, voting Democratic doesn't, fix it. I don't think it does. And I agree with you. But we have to be real with what options we have and what is going to best strategically put us in place as a community to make the changes that we want to see. Yep. And so I'm not, picking a fight or anything else, but I understand for everyone that's joking, there's 10 more that are like, you know what, he right, I'm not gonna vote at all. And it's just like, whoa. He's just engaging in some conversation. You literally are not sure about what's going on. So let us help you. I'm gonna bring you in. This is how you need to be thinking about it. Everything is a chess move. You can't just go throw yourself away. That doesn't help anything. It doesn't help you, it doesn't help us. And so that's why I wanted to address that. We can totally move on. I just wanted to make sure I said that. I'm just seeing things that are disturbing, especially from Black men. And so I'm just a little bit sensitive to that energy right now, because I'm like, bruh, if we want to be the leaders in our community, we can't be just coming off the cuff saying ridiculousness.
Yes.
Who's supposed to respect us if we don't even respect our women, our community, our young people? I'm just saying, y'all, we talking about leaders or what? All right, I'm done.
We're not leading the charge. Like, the thing is, Black women are usually always leading the charge when it comes to voting. I mean, education, everything. We need our Black men to be leading the charge. We don't have time for 2 days before the election for our powerful Black men to be coming out saying that I'm voting for blah, 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 because I'm trying to protect my money. I mean, are you kidding? We have people out here dying. We're trying to protect our lives, and you're talking about your money. Like, come on. And so, I'm not going to get into it, because then I'll get a little bit angry. Let me tell you something. But it's irresponsible, because we have audiences and young men, young women who are watching us. And you can always think about that this might be a joke, or this comment might persuade someone who is unsure, who is uneducated on who to vote for. Do I vote at all? That one comment can persuade them to stay at home and not vote. And we cannot, our lives depend on this vote. So we cannot be that reckless, period. I wanted us to see if we don't have any comments to go through. Thanks so much, Kidway. That was necessary. Do you all want to go and look at the result, like what we're looking at right now?
Well, like I said, without knowing Allen County, we can't really get a good picture of what's going to happen in Northeast Indiana.
Okay, we can look at the presidential race for now.
Yeah, Florida started counting early, so I would take a look. We can take a look at Florida, what's going on with them.
Okay, I'm gonna screen share and see what we got going on here.
I'm nervous to look at it, y'all.
Okay. They actually have Florida. Trump is still leading right now, according to AP.
So I heard So basically what it's looking like is that, so it's going to take longer to count those mail-in ballots. So Trump, because he did encourage his, and they said largely Republicans will vote on election day. So those results will come out first, right? We will hear about those and see those first. But it will take longer to get those mail-in ballots counted. So okay, we have to share the audio.
So, but this is the crazy thing right now. So in 2016, in 2016, Trump got 4.6 million votes in Florida, and he has already gotten 5.6 million in this election. That's scary.
Yikes.
How many has Biden?
Well, 5.2 million, which is up from Hillary's 4.5 million. But the percentages are looking like what happened. Like it looks like Biden's percentage is about the same as Hillary, but instead of like the libertarians taking, I don't know how much did they take? Libertarians took 2%. Like all the third parties took so much of the percent of the vote. It's like all that percent of the vote is going to Trump. But yeah. And again, this is a lot of the vote right here. It's crazy. Florida, like, it makes me think, they do internal polling on all this stuff. And it's like the Republicans, they know what they're doing. They know, they have an idea of what the results are going to be before, because they don't take chances. So there's very few surprises with them. So like they know how they're going to try to get Trump back in that office. And that's a scary thing.
Well, it's looking like Trump is going to have to win several of these states. So there's still a lot of heavy lifting to be done. Ohio, Texas.
Yeah, there's Texas, but the thing is, because of when the state legislature meets for all those states except Pennsylvania, Florida, Indiana, except there's very few states that the new legislature doesn't go into effect until January. So what those states could do is the Electoral College meets on December 14th. Those are the actual people that pick the president. All you're saying is what you want the state legislature to pick for the Electoral College. And so what Texas could do is they could say, oh, well, we don't believe in this in the popular vote for Texas or what it came out to. So we're going to put a slate of all, our Republican electors, 39 Republican electors. We're just going to put the whole Trump slate that's pledged to Trump or pledged to vote for Trump Electoral College. We're just going to put those people in there. And I don't think, and people are really not taking into account how much of a danger that is. There has to be a huge amount of pressure on those state legislatures for them to not be pressured into doing that, or to not even think about doing that. Are you there? So that's why I think, like Pennsylvania is big, because if they, those states like Michigan and Wisconsin, they have state legislatures that love to suppress votes. And so, and we know that. We know Wisconsin, like they made people go to the polling place in their primary, and not get absentee ballot. We know these state legislatures are right now, the Republican ones are hostile. And so the fact that the U.S. Constitution gives the state legislatures power to decide their electors, and there's all, really means that all these ones that are in power until in these lame duck sessions until January really should concern us, that they're going to mess with the vote or mess with the Electoral College slate. And that's why it's so complicated. It's because it really comes, because the founding fathers were so the Electoral College was just, it's one of those ideas that they immediately found problems with. Okay,
y'all, I think we need to go to listen, do I want to get my blood pressure up? Okay. Let's go to some of these results for everyone. Yeah. Look at this, Jorge. Sheesh.
Maine is close.
Trump is ahead by 177,000 in Ohio right now.
Okay.
It's
How
close.
many are still up to be counted?
I think Florida has been back and forth. It's just been back and forth, back and forth.
How many are
That's
still
the
yet to be
scary
counted
thing is
in Ohio?
5.6 million.
I couldn't even
It's
see
scary.
the percentage.
Scary how many Trump people came out for Trump this time that didn't come out for last time.
Exactly.
5.6 million,
So
4.6 million. That's just like, that shows you how, like, I mean, I grew up in Florida. Florida is, there's something wrong with Florida.
It is ridiculous. It is. It's like they don't understand that he don't like them either.
Like,
I don't.
well, it's like all the, it's the, there's this large,
Wealthy
well,
people.
there's
There are a lot of
wealthy
retired
people. There's
wealthy
like, yeah,
there.
in Palm Beach, but most of the state is not. It's there are wealthy people, retirees that go down there and they're Trumpsters, but like most of the Trumpsters are like in the, like the Panhandle. It's like it's like the South, and it's like the South is just the parts that are like that are white are just going stronger and stronger Trump, and then it's like the parts that are have persons of color, more diverse, are going the opposite way. It's like we're like dividing into two countries.
So we have 28% in, and Trump is
Yeah, we
like
have very small percentages.
51%.
28% in where? In Florida?
In Michigan, and Trump is ahead by like, I don't know. I think it was like 3%.
And we're only 30% in.
Yeah.
It's like
it's very early.
Long night.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be watching this.
It's still super early.
Oh, let's see, 1 million. Let me look at the.
Listen. So the governor of North Carolina is now a Democrat, right? That I just saw.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, that's good news.
Well, he was already a Democrat, so he just got reelected.
It's the same.
But that's a good sign that he got reelected.
It is because they're saying that Trump needs to win North Carolina.
Because he won it last time. So this is yeah, I mean, that's an opportunity. The whole thing is the North Carolina legislature, there was a gerrymandering lawsuit with them. And it's like, if you know that state legislature, they are so, I mean, the lawsuit just showed how racist the North Carolina legislature was. Because what happened is the Supreme Court, like, this is one of the weird times where Thomas actually like reflected like that he was actually a person of color on the Supreme Court. And he's like, oh no, this, like, they said they were racially gerrymandering to like deprive people of power in North Carolina. And so it's like, no, we're going to throw out those maps, those state house and those congressional maps for North Carolina. And what happened is they came back with new maps and they said, oh, this is not a racial gerrymander, it's a partisan gerrymander. It's not that they're black, it's that they're Democrats, voting Democrat. So that's why we're like,
no better.
And they came back and the Supreme Court said, well, we can't do anything about that.
We have a couple of people in the chat that I wanted to
so hostile.
write on before we get off. LA Wims and Pinky, do you all want to join the Zoom? Let us know in the chat.
Got interesting.
Type it in the chat.
That would be very interesting.
In the chat.
Yeah, I always tell people that I met Jorge through the NAACP, and if there's anything that I need to know, I can always call Jorge.
I wish there was like an electoral college for dummies like book out there.
There probably is though.
Not that you're dummy, but like but it's not this. Yeah, it's just, it is super complicated, and it's because like the founding fathers did not trust people, and then you see how many people vote for Trump, and you're like, I think they might be onto something. But the thing is, it didn't work out because it didn't end up preventing Trump from being elected or selected by the electoral college.
Well, there just might be a book for the Electoral College for Dummies, but I don't think it's that hard to understand. I believe that if you start teaching it young in school, like elementary school, it's not hard to pick up. The problem is that most people are not learning, or that they don't have the privilege to learn these things young. So I think that that's what we have to start dealing with, is that you have full-on adults who know nothing about voting, civic engagement, nothing, because we, by and large, Black people, people of color, are not learning these things in school. So I think that there's definitely a learning curve that we have to address. We heard that by two of our candidates on this forum tonight. So I think that we know the work that we have to do moving forward, for our people to make any kind of change. I don't know if we've had our two ladies comment in the chat, but I'm asking you to come on.
So Allie said not today. Pinky hasn't commented back yet.
Where Pinky at? Next time, Allie.
Yeah, see, like all these numbers, if the state legislature, I mean, these are the ones that were, that are really strong one way or the other. But like, if the state legislatures get involved, then it's, it'll be all these, the electoral college numbers here will be meaningless because, unless if the state legislatures start getting involved, and so.
Okay, so we swept the House.
Yes.
Well, I mean, yeah, there's no way the Dems were going to lose the House. But well, I wouldn't say no way, but
I'm just trying to see how many seats we could flip in the Senate. That's important.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, I'm really looking North Carolina. If the governors went blue, I'd be really interested to see how the Senate race in North Carolina. There's Cunningham in North Carolina. Georgia, African American Pastor Warnock is running for U.S. Senate in Georgia. John Ossoff, who John Lewis endorsed, is running for the other Senate seat because there's two up in Georgia. In Texas, MJ Egger is running against John Cornyn. There's a lot in these battleground states, and so there's an opportunity here for the Senate to flip, and that would be really nice, regardless of what happens in the presidency, if there was that balance, or having a blue Senate and a blue House. To be honest, you could get really interesting because you could add a bunch of states and you can pack the Senate. Because you only need a majority of the House and the Senate to agree on a new state, right? So if they get the majority in the Senate, if Democrats get the majority of the Senate, they can make Puerto Rico a state right now. Like if they have the House already Democrat, and the House is cool, the new people coming into the U.S. House are cool with making Puerto Rico a state. They can make.
Before we make any other places state, we need to make sure they know. We need to make sure we know whose side they on, because these people be coming over here sometime and they don't be acting right. So we just gotta make sure.
Yeah, exactly. Just because they're Democrats doesn't mean they're going to support Puerto Rico. I mean, that's something that just passed, and there was many years that it didn't, because it was like, well, it wasn't Puerto Rico, it was Washington D.C. that they passed. They haven't even passed Puerto Rico because they're like, let Puerto Rico decide. And I'm like, well, here's the thing. It's like you have 3 million people that don't have representation that are living in Puerto Rico right now. That's insane. Like we have U.S. population 300 million, and there's 3 million people living in Puerto Rico. They can't vote on electoral college. They don't have a U.S. senator. They don't have a U.S. House member. Talking about colonialism, imperialism, that's tied. That's tied to the situation in Puerto Rico. But there's people in Puerto Rico that keep, like, whenever they have these elections, usually they allow a choice for independence. It's like, who really thinks the U.S. is going to let Puerto Rico become independent? Like, why is that even an option? So this time they did a yes, no. Do you want Puerto Rico to become a state, or do you not? So they actually voted on that today. So I don't know what that came out to. But if they support it, then, and we get a Democrat Senate, then there's no reason to not admit Puerto Rico as a state if they supported it. So I think that could happen right away with the Senate, with Dem Senate, US Dem House. The Dem House, the current one, has already supported Washington D.C. becoming a state. Washington D.C., if it became a state, would be the highest concentration of African American individuals in the state. It would be probably the only. I think it would be majority African American, and there would be, and no state is currently majority African American. So, and that's tied to why Washington D.C. hasn't become a state yet. It's like, that you can't get away from that fact. The people will deny it, like that are against Washington D.C. statehood, but you can't look at it and say, why is the one of the most heavily concentrated African American areas in the country, and one of the most highly concentrated Latino areas in the country, Puerto Rico, why are those two don't have any voting representation in Congress? So but yeah, if they get the Senate,
I'm sure there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
My mama,
Yeah.
my mama said, "Can she be added to the Zoom call?" Yes,
Yeah.
she can, Mama. Come on there, Mama.
I'm gonna jump off of here.
Before we end, there are a few requests that we had tonight, but I wanted to make sure that we encouraged and thank you, Jorge, for everything that you do and for the work that we're going to be doing moving forward. This is only the beginning, and so I look forward, and I know ChangeMakers look forward to working with you. November 4th on, we have a lot to do. We have a lot of educating to do, and you could be a large help with that, Jorge.
Yeah.
So maybe you need to write a pamphlet, Electoral College for Dummies. Okay. So we definitely appreciate you and look forward to working with you. And so we hope that even when you're off the Zoom, that you stay on in the chat with us. If you're gonna stay awake tonight.
Yeah, I'll stay on here just in case. Yeah, I don't think anything's gonna happen in Allen County, so I'll actually have, I mean, who knows? But I think they said they won't. They'll start again on that tomorrow and Thursday, probably tomorrow and Thursday. So that's so there's a chance. There's still a chance for me. So it looks thinner with Huntington County results, but who knows? They didn't say how many votes are left outstanding in my district. So and hope reigns,
All right, thanks so much, Jorge. I know we'll speak to you tomorrow as well when we know more. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Take care.
Thank you for being on here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me.
For sure. No problem. All right. So we had a couple of requests for community talk, and so speaking about things that are going on in the community and how this election will impact our local community. And so Pinky, if there was anything specific that you had in mind that you wanted to speak about regarding the community, you can drop that in the chat. Mama, if you really want to be added, let me know and I'll give you the the Zoom code. And there were a couple of comments on here by random Republican. Okay. Okay. So what do you mean by community talk, Pinky? What do you mean by community talk? What are you all wanting to hear? Alicia, Kibwe, moving forward, like when we wake up tomorrow or when we wake up on Thursday, November 5th, like when all of the results have come in and we know everything, what are you all hoping for? Like realistically, like what are we hoping for?
Depends on what the results are. I mean, if we have turned blue, somewhat in Indiana to where we could possibly see some movement, especially here in Fort Wayne, on racial issues, because we know the commission ain't doing nothing. Don't get me started on that.
Come on. Listen, we're talking about community talk, so that's a great segue. Okay.
You look, that okay.
We'll talk about that more in the future, but yeah, like continue because it's relevant.
I just really hope that if we can have some movement and have a small blue wave, to where we can work with these individuals, because we just can't work with Republicans. We can't work with Republicans, and not saying in the future there aren't going to be Republicans who we can work with, but right now, Jim Banks, come on, man, you literally tried to, silence us like we're irrelevant. So, I'm just hoping that
more than silence us, he tried to lock us away for speaking.
Like for protesting.
He wanted to take our livelihoods away.
Yeah. So
I mean, that's
you
the
know,
lowest that you can go. So
I'm just hoping that there's a small blue wave and we're able to make some headway here in Fort Wayne, because with Republicans at the helm, we have not been able to accomplish anything. They're 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 not willing to budge at all. They're not willing to budge at all, and that's because they don't care. Period. They just don't care.
We've got to get, and I know like people like to think locally because it's like, it feels like, you can have more impact, and you can on like certain things, but there is just a lot of this stuff is just stuff that we have to deal with at the state house level. Like in Wisconsin, with the shootings that have happened there, they have to deal with it in Kenosha. We have to deal with it in Indy. And there again, I think that their state house is going to be there's going to be some flips because Republicans have been panicking and putting money into certain races. If we look back at the results here, we can see how those races are doing. Some of the seats that we're going to flip. So again, we won't know Allen County, but in Allen County, Kyle Miller could flip his seat, and that would be, or Kyle Miller could flip Carbaugh's state representative seat, and that would be big.
what we really want to do though, so we know that we're getting election results, but we still have to have a plan beyond that.
Yeah.
And so for me, I'm already thinking November 4th. No matter what happens for me, for example, what I'm looking for is for the community to say, okay, if there is not a blue wave, local, in Indiana, if we don't really see the seats or our candidates, make it, into these different seats, what do we plan to do? Like, I mean, we have a lot of momentum. Why do we stop going out to these different corners with signs? Why should we stop? We should continue. I mean, that is how you win the next race. You don't stop. You start to mentor and raise up, like we had a few of the candidates say. We're going to start to teach other people how to run these races. That's what we need to do. We need to make sure that we're not depending on anybody to vote me in or vote this person in. No, that does not matter. Honestly, to me, it does matter who we elect as the president, because I want to live. Okay, I want my brothers to live. I'm tired of seeing police officers empty out the clip on Black men, but they will run around a car like hide and go seek. I'm gonna chase my friend around a car when I'm 2 years old, when it's a white man who got a weapon. They're not afraid at all.
Okay, but
let me say this. Literally, I just saw on the news, I was watching Court TV, and I saw there was a Hispanic man ran out the house with a machete, ran out the house, running toward the police. They shot him 2 times. And let me tell you this, they didn't empty the clip. Immediately after they shot him and disarmed him, all the police officers ran to him, and they were like, oh my God, where did we hit you? Where did we hit you? They started to, try to make sure he was alive. He lived, of course. All they wanted to do was disarm him and not kill him. Why could we not get the same consideration?
There was a Black girl in Indianapolis that happened to. And in the live video, she literally was laying there on the ground and no police officer was tending to her. Like, she was already dead, but she was gasping for air.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, those are the things I think that, like, when I ask, what are we looking for? Like, we talked about the election, but what are we looking for past the election? Our work cannot be dependent upon who's elected. You know what I'm saying? So we've already started the work. I think that we need to continue to work, but we need to turn up the heat.
I think we're gonna have to reach out as well. Reach out even to Republicans who don't support what we're talking about. Sure. I want to sit down and talk to you. Why? Like, I want to explain. Like, I want to have a conversation, because we live here. We live here. This is our community. This is our city. This is our state. So I think we're going to have those uncomfortable conversations.
Yes, and it's definitely possible. Like, I don't believe that we can't work with Republicans. I believe that there are many Republicans that don't want to work with us. That's true.
Yeah.
But there are some of them that we will never, that will never hear us because they have a different agenda. But there are some that are just not, they've been in their bubbles. So they haven't really had encounters with people of color. You know what I'm saying? So I think that there are a lot of, there's a world of possibilities if we just start to imagine what we see things like in 2 years. How do we want things to look in Fort Wayne, in Allen County? I think
here's the
that's
thing.
what we need to start doing on the community level. Yes, Kimway and then Jorge.
I think the main thing for me is that we grow in consciousness and we grow in strategy. And I think regardless of how this election turns out, I think we have an opportunity to grow. We have an opportunity to do better the next time. We have an opportunity to really change some things for ourselves, but it takes leadership and it takes intentional thinking and it takes intentional actions. And I really hope that at least 20 more % of us the next time around vote and get engaged, and at least 20 to 15, 25 more % after that. And then maybe another, because there will always be some folks who just never ride with you. But as long as we do our job to continue lifting just that 20 extra % to a level of consciousness that will be impactful in their life, I think we'll do just fine. And so regardless of how this turns out, I'm proud of what I have done. I'm proud of what we have done here with the ChangeMakers. I'm proud of what you have done, Jorge. I'm proud of what the people who watch this live have been doing as far as, some of them, as far as trying to spread good information and perspective. And I really admire the courage that it takes to do the work that we're doing. It's real easy to throw your hands up and say negative things. That's the easiest thing to do. And I've been in enough difficult situations to know that that's the easiest thing to do. And so I think a lot of people are seeing a lot of strength coming from especially young people and other unlikely candidates sometimes. And I'm proud of them and I hope they continue to move forward. I'll be honest, I'm going to jump off this call and finish my self-care.
Yeah.
I will see you all.
What is your self-care, Kimway? He ain't gonna tell
I got a bottle of Woodford Reserve on the counter.
Yeah, what?
Have a little bit more of that and relax into the evening. It's been a really kind of a quick go day, and it's gonna be like that the rest of the week. So I'm gonna take just a little bit, meditate, and dial it all down. So thank y'all for.
All right, enjoy your self-care. Share next time. All right.
Absolutely.
Have a good night,
Talk to y'all later. Thanks, Jorge. Bye, Alicia. Bye, Delana.
Right,
y'all be good now.
Bye.
I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.
All right, guys. So we're going to end with just Alicia and I. Thank you so much, Jorge. We will converse more tomorrow. Have a good night.
Thanks,
Get some rest.
Yep. Thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye. All right. So I think that made me feel better.
Yeah.
I feel better.
Yeah, I feel more relaxed.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping we wake up to good news tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm trying to, psych myself out a little bit. I'm just hoping that we don't have a sore loser or a sore winner, whatever, that's going to incite violence. I'm just hoping that everyone is safe. I know that we have people who are just lurking around corners waiting to be violent and harm people and hurt people. And so I'm just hoping that everyone plays it safe and, are smart. Protect yourself, protect your family. I'm hoping that we wake up to, good news tomorrow. I just really think that, I pray, honestly, that for the people who did not vote this time, for the people who wanted to not hear the pleas of all of us, people who have been begging people to vote, who have been giving people reasons why we are choosing to vote for Biden and Kamala. Even though we're telling them that they might not be the perfect choice. There is no perfect choice.
Right.
There might there might be a better choice next time. You know what I'm saying? But we had to choose. And what we're choosing is life. So I'm just hoping that the people who did not vote this time will sit down and like just listen and hear and learn and choose to do better next time.
Yeah.
If not for yourself, then for everyone else who is worried, for our young people who are worried, who are not safe in these streets. We had people as young as 15, 17, 18 being gunned down by the police. And then we have a president who is encouraging the police officers to go harder.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I hope that we take more responsibility. I heard some really, really disappointing and just downright dangerous comments that came from Fort Wayne today. And I'll say this: protect Black women. I am sick and tired of Black women having to take charge of situations, or we are harmed by another Black man or any man, and people don't stand up for us. Black men, I heard some nasty comments that were said about a Black woman today.
Same.
And people let it ride. That person should have been banned. We want to ban everybody else. That person should have been banned, condemned, not supported. It should have been done after hearing him disrespect a Black woman the way that he did.
Yeah.
So I would say that, one, we keep saying protect Black women, but that is just not another hashtag, y'all.
Right. You have to
We
actually
are not protected.
move on that.
Yes, we are not respected. We are not protected. And then the other thing is, Black men, please begin to take charge. I would say that we have a lot of Black men that like to yap, 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 talk, talk, talk. But when it is time to stand up and take charge, who usually has to do it? A Black woman. And I could give you a very present example that I'm disappointed about. I don't even know if Alicia know what I'm talking about. I'm trying to like channel it to your spirit. A very present example of a Black woman having to like stand up and take charge. Are we just gonna sit here and let the whole thing be hijacked? Or is somebody gonna say something? And guess who had to say something? A Black woman. And I'm just gonna say this. We need our Black men to stop being all talk and a little bit more action. Period. Stop competing with Black women. Start protecting Black women, lifting us up, and taking charge. Period. I'm just gonna need y'all to start taking charge. Because I wouldn't have to do it if you did. Okay. What you got to say, Alicia? I'm sorry. I was just on the soapbox. Right?
No, I'm just looking at that Pinky. Pinky's commenting, "Dear Black men, when are you going to stand the fuck up? This is ridiculous."
Woo, child.
She said, "This is the conversation we need to have tomorrow." Note taken.
I see someone said the wage gap closure needs to happen. Definitely. Definitely. There's no reason why people should have to work 2 jobs to take care of their families. Why we have to get paid, less than a person doing the exact same job that we're doing. Yep. I literally see people hired into jobs who have no education just because they have the privilege of having white skin. Let's talk about that. Yeah. I think that we've addressed everyone's comments. If we have not, then you guys can jump on tomorrow and we could discuss those things. But yes, we always have to bring our conversations back to local. What can we do on a local level? I saw a lot of women power at the polls today, volunteering, women running for offices. I think the only man local that I know that was present, well, we had a couple. We had Pablo Hurtado, who I hope we can get into a shop talk soon. We had Jorge. We didn't have any Black men
No.
No.
Mm-mm.
So when Melissa Fisher says that we need diversity, that's what she means. You know,
Mhm.
we need everyone to be represented. You know, we need our Latina women. We need everyone. You know, I would love to see some. Give us a Nigerian running, honey. Okay, accent and
Mm.
all. Okay. So what you got to say, Alicia?
Not too much. I'm just thinking about what's gonna happen. I gotta,
Who girl?
you know,
I'm gonna have
um,
to make myself turn the TV off.
I would love to see diversity. You know, it brings. I feel like it. You know, without diversity, it's the same old, same old. It's the same old, same old. And that same old is the white man's, you know, setup. Really. Um, and that's what they try to stop from happening. So it would be great to, especially in Indiana, to see some diversity and to flip some seats and,
Yeah.
you know, feel like we have some kind of representation in the
Yeah.
state, in the communities we live in, you know.
Yeah, I agree. We need more community-minded people in these boardrooms.
Yeah.
We'll talk about the commission soon, but I would have loved for the commission to be more representative of our community. We have people sitting on the commission who sit on every other board in the city and don't represent non-Black person in the city, and probably don't even like Black people, to be honest.
Whew.
And so, it's very hard when you have Black people who don't like Black people. And so, that's something that we'll get into a little bit later on. But like we said, we need diversity. We don't just need Black skin. We need Black culture. Okay. We need somebody who have the lived experience.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, we'll get into that later. But yes, we need diversity in these boardrooms on the county council. We need a Melissa Fisher because she's community minded. I don't care if she's white, Black, whatever I don't care what ethnicity, I don't care what color your skin is, but when you care about the community, you care about the community. And she cares about the community more than a lot of Black people that I know. Okay, just being honest. And so, Stephanie has been doing a lot of work in the community. I hope that she, gets, onto the county council, and I hope that she keeps the community in mind and that we have a vote with her. I hope that, with Sheila Curry Campbell being on the board, I hope that we have a vote with her. That would be 3. And hopefully they try to appeal to their constituents and try to maybe flip them sometimes, get them to see their perspectives, and that way maybe we can have some majority votes where they just won't be able to choose and say, do
exactly, because we
want.
usually have a majority as far as the community, like we don't agree with that, but our majority voice doesn't show through in the county council or the city council meetings. They just make decisions without thinking about the community. So that's the problem. So we need people who are going to listen to the community and say, yeah, you know what, this is a little fishy, or yeah, you know what, we shouldn't be raising their budget right now. Let's look at this. Let's take a deeper look and see who wants money. Exactly. Because we're not just raising her budget, we're raising the police officer's budget. Okay. It all plays in together. That was said in the commission meeting. Oh, well, with the budget increase, that's going to help the officers out as well. Oh, good to know.
Help them do what? Buy more SWAT gear?
buy another what was it, $290,000 Bearcat? $290,000 on a Bearcat this year. $290,000 taxpayer dollars. on a
Wow.
Bearcat.
But teachers still haven't gotten a raise in Indiana.
They're spending $60,000 on drones. $60,000 drone.
Yeah.
Really?
It shows what's important. But then the mayor has the nerve. We not gonna, you know what? I'm not gonna go. We gonna. That's a different conversation. We don't
Yeah,
want
we
that
got a
to be on
whole.
the tail end of this. We'll hold that in. But let me tell you guys this. We have a lot of people that judge change makers. And I'll tell you this. Nothing in this country has ever gotten done by people who were not willing to tell the unadulterated truth. I mean,
Yes.
if we are not willing to embarrass ourselves or to stand out or to not follow the crowd in order to tell the real truth, then nothing will ever change in Fort Wayne, Indiana. People judge us for being strong, opinionated, passionate women. We're not going slapping people upside the head, y'all. We're not going breaking laws. The only thing we are doing are telling the truth. We are real community women, come from the community, raised in hoods, broken education systems. I mean, we can speak to so much struggle, pain. We understand what people in the community are really going through. And so when we bring our passion, it is not fair to us for people to try to water down that passion. We're never going to follow the crowd because usually the crowd don't even know where they're going. You understand me? So
Man.
I'm going to say this. For everybody who feels like they want to judge any group in the city for being passionate and for being honest, then you are wrong and going the wrong way. Don't try to whitewash what I have to say. Don't try to tell me that I need to articulate it in a different way or express it in a different way. If I'm not cursing, I ain't saying one curse word, I'm just passionate. You
Right.
understand me? Like, my thing is that why are you offended by the truth? You're not going to tell me how to do it, what to do, none of that. I'm going to do it the way it is given to me. Alicia and I, change makers. That is what we do. You can always depend on us to tell the truth as we see it. We are open to other people's opinions, but oftentimes you have people who are hush mouth and afraid. They want us to conform to a system that was never made for us, never meant for us to succeed. So why do you want me to conform to this system, to speak this way, to walk this way, to dress this way? Who told you that that was the right way to do it? I'm just saying, be yourself and don't be afraid to do that. You know what I'm saying? Passion matters. Experience matters. You can get a lot of people who got a lot of education who ain't got no sense, who really don't care about
no
the community.
common sense, no street
How long
knowledge.
have you been doing community work, sir, ma'am? How long have you been out there really knocking on doors of the hood? Are you afraid to go in the hood right now? Probably. They probably wouldn't even listen to you. Do you know how to code switch? Do you know how to break it down? Can you talk to those little kids out there in the corner and have them actually listen to you? Because I know that I can't. Okay? They can listen to me in a boardroom as well as on the corner. So we need people who are relatable, is what I'm saying. You got to be relatable. Okay.
Yeah.
Change makers. We just out here trying to make change. We ain't trying to hurt nobody. We would protect ourselves, though. I'm just saying.
We just want equity. We just want equality.
Come on.
That's it. That's all. That shouldn't offend you.
It shouldn't.
It shouldn't offend you.
At all. You know? Equity for everyone. Equality for everyone. Not just for me and my people, for all people.
Yeah.
Let's level the playing field. Why are you afraid? You can't compete on a level playing field. That's all it is. People are fearful.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people are fearful of passion and what struggle can do. I mean, people are literally afraid of descendants of slaves. People who come from broken school systems. People who were never taught about civic engagement and why it's important to vote. Why are you afraid of these people? You know why? Because the struggle makes you strong. That's why I would never allow anyone to water down my passion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I will never try to take away my pain and my struggle. I'm thankful for it because it made me who I am. And I'm not going to allow you to put a white blanket on top of that. You understand me? Child, listen, okay? But
Girl.
so Biddy, so now my brother, I love him, y'all. He crazy.
He said, "Who you vote for?"
He gonna say, so who do you beautiful ladies vote for? Okay. I voted for Kamala and Biden. As soon as I say Kamala, he gonna get mad.
Same.
Thank you for watching, Reese. Hopefully by some body cams, definitely Paul. Yeah, Pinky. Yep. So we're gonna try to get some more of our candidates on tomorrow and some more community members to speak about what we are experiencing all across Indiana. I really thank the organizations who have been working, like Count Us In,
Mm-hmm.
Faith in Indiana. Yeah, Faith in Indiana is always doing the work. I mean, literally working tirelessly for months and months. Just, I mean, it was a grind. And so Faith in Indiana, all of the teams of like Virginia Jones' team, Melissa Fisher's team. Like, I mean, these people been out here. Pablo Hurtado, like his team. Like these are the names that I was always hearing, you know, over and over again. And this work is not easy. But we hope that people were inspired and want to run for the next election, because guess what? Preparation starts now. It starts right now. It actually started yesterday. You know, so we hope that some of you guys were inspired and hope to change, you know, maybe run for some of these seats and, you know, bust in these doors. Not walk in, but
maybe ChangeMakers needs to run for something. ChangeMakers for president.
Okay, ChangeMakers for mayor. Mayor for Wayne. Girl, okay, polo and all.
Yes.
Oh, also, thanks to Souls to the Polls. Souls to the Polls with Sharon Tucker. And thanks to, I know that the NACP, Larry Gist and Mr. Russell, Tim Russell, they did some driving people to the polls today as well. All of the volunteers, like, so it was a lot of people. It took a lot of people to get people out to vote today and then in the past month. And so thank everybody, thank everyone. Thank all of y'all for your hard work, every group. Also, we haven't mentioned Aaron Fogg, but I voted for Aaron too.
I sure
Aaron,
did.
Yeah, okay.
Sure did.
Yeah, so Aaron is also somebody who we are definitely sure is for the community and for equity. And so she definitely deserved the vote. And I know that past the vote, you know, November 4th, whatever happens, she's not going to stop being for the community. And so she would be a great person to actually be on the county council, because I know she would walk through the door. She would fly through it.
Look.
Okay. I mean,
I'm trying to tell you, if nobody else is gonna listen, she gonna listen and be like, no.
Okay. And then anybody who didn't like to watch the county council meetings, they'll be watching now. Okay.
Right.
If Aaron was in the building. So also, so thank her for all the work that she's been doing as well, because before the protests actually happened, she was running for county council. So
Yeah.
that was well before the protest began. And so we definitely have some good community-minded people who are working. We just need to start uplifting the uncommon voices, the unpopular voices. We hear from the same people all the time who are always prim and proper. This is how they want you to be. They want you to act like this and like
Right.
this.
Hello, how are you?
Okay, yes, hi, hello. Thank you so much. My name is Daylana and I am a change maker. And no, I did not participate in the protest. I did not.
No
those
way. No way.
oh my God, protest.
Protest.
No.
How
But
dare you?
we need to start uplifting the voices who are gonna come in like this. Like, yes, I did protest because things were wrong. A man died. We're tired of seeing men dying. So we're gonna yell about it. We're not gonna walk across the sidewalk and say we're tired of men dying. We're tired of men dying. No, that is not how it works. That is not how it works. You screaming, you yelling, you show your anger.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna stop. I'm done. Right. I'm tired of men dying. Okay, we need to go to
Look,
bed.
you know
What
it.
is it? Okay. We
Oh,
done, y'all.
Lord.
Y'all got any more questions?
She said with the sheriff hat on.
Wait, with the what hat on?
Aaron with her sheriff hat.
Yes, the sheriff hat. Listen, we are done with y'all tonight.
Be in there
We are
tipping that
done.
thing.
Yes, we're done. We
Aaron
are
Fogg.
walk over to Pinky like this. We will be back tomorrow, guys. Everyone needs rest. I don't know if we're gonna rest, but we're definitely gonna try. Alicia, stop looking at the comments. They're never gonna let us get off of here.
Oh my goodness.
Reese, stop it. Oh Lord Jesus. Alicia, don't read the
Look.
comments anymore.
Yeah, it's time to go to bed.
Okay. Girl, I done told y'all to start reading that boy comments. Well, this was nice. I do feel a little bit better. I hope that this gave you guys like something to think about, maybe a laugh. It was good to like share space with you all. Thanks to Jorge Fernandez, and thanks to Kimberly Colton. Thanks to Melissa Fisher and to Virginia Jones for all jumping on. We appreciate you all. We're rooting for you all. Pat, to the election, and we look forward to the work we'll be doing. And we'll be back to speak with you guys tomorrow.
Okay.
Night.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, girl.
See y'all.